I just saw this video, and I have a few comments. I have made something very similar. Now I get to feel like my idea was stolen. So sad. I'll take it. He made a high-quality presentation that card games in fact are dying, with his own opinionated explanation of what happened, saying that the world is now TikTok, attention span. That we're subjects to this kind of trend, right? And it's like, relax, dude. That's not how it works. It's like saying, oh, people don't have attention spans, so they don't want to play vanilla Minecraft experience. They kind of experience the vanilla stuff. They want the bigger, the better things. In the end, it comes down to, like, convenience. And it's kind of insane for me to still see that, wow, the maintenance of card games is like a really, really tough thing to pull off. Legends of Runeterra had to make new content all the time, and every single expansion cost like $1 million. Yes, I want to see the Zeddy's newest slop. What the what do you... So, I already talked about convenience. You can't just press play in Hearthstone. Only sometimes in Tavern Brawl. Yes, play exists if you already have prepared a deck, right? And it's not a tough process. You just pick up a deck from HS Replay. Wow, I'm stunned. We have a fucking rainbow going on here. We have a red, green, blue rainbow, like literally. That's crazy. A lot of people migrated from Hearthstone because their favorite influencers did the thing. Like Trump was one of the first ones, actually. Reynad was one of the guys, then Kriparian migrated away into Arena, into Battlegrounds. People kept running away from, like, the card game that's refusing to die, unfortunately, but it almost, like, gives some kind of novelty that I'm able to focus on this one in particular instead of anything else. Like, I find most value playing this. And then it given rise to Rauren, right? That's a big deal. Bro has risen in last 4 years. I would say the Mr. Beast of card games, almost. So the landscape of card games is changing slightly, not by much. Now, saying that everything is turning into an auto-battler, that's creepy as hell. It's like, oh, the trends is shifting and completely splitting this community into, like, physical card games and auto-battlers, like, bizarre. Now it's a creepy thing to say, unfortunately, of like, wow, card games are just gonna die. Because they are not for people who have short attention spans. People have to build the deck while they play the game. I mean, that's the criteria now. Sounds a little bit foolish, you know? Like, there's not actually that many card games right now on the market that would actually attempt to solve the problem of press play and play a fucking different experience every single time. No one's doing it, you know? Besides auto battlers, they're trying to do, but that's not a card game, right? What if you press play and you get a different deck to play? Now it's a card game, and you can insert more decks to play, basically. And it would be even crazier if your random pool of decks was bigger than other people's pool of decks, so you get like more rewards for having just more decks to choose from, to randomize from, so you're not spamming the same deck over and over again. I mean, the solutions or possibilities of how to solve this problem, because every problem is eventually quite coherent when you understand it. It's quite a coherent problem of just convenience. I can't press play. I don't want to play the same deck. I have to keep on switching. There's a lot of inconvenience, and building decks is basically a false advertisement. Okay, you don't build decks. You add the best cards in the deck. That's what you do. You don't build decks. Now I can actually, transcend the deck building into something where I'm experimenting on certain features of the game because I understand what's strong and what's weak, so I can avoid the bullshit and get to something juicier. But this actually still, like, in the deck builder, like, everything is ugly. Like, this, you're never gonna play this card, but it's there. Just takes up space. So you're scrolling around a lot of, like, half of the dead cards that you're never gonna play. The game is just generally ugly, generally unpolished, generally fucking, I would say amateur. Like, fucking amateur. They don't actually understand how to solve the biggest problems in their own fucking game. AAA title my fucking ass. You know? If I had the manpower, I would already be boasting that I have the better card game than Hearthstone. That I am a Hearthstone killer. I just don't have the manpower. I don't have $1 million of fucking every single year or something. Right? I only potentially need like $20,000 to attract good enough talent for them to have a nice little payday to do a little bit of work. You know, I know exactly what I want, and we do that. And Bazaar shows, like, Bazaar solved another problem, basically, of, like, you don't need, like, complex servers to run because there's not a lot of data exchanged anyways, right? If you do it properly, it doesn't have to be a real-time battle. In fact, PvP in general is very toxic shit unless you can solve that instead. So it does depend of, like, which way do you go. What I mentioned is, like, the variety should potentially just be the ultimate solution. You just create a pool of decks, like a tournament mode. You keep switching between decks, and that's the way you climb. Now, physical card games benefit from the fact that people just want to buy stuff, right? They cannot actually escape not buying stuff, and they can admire the stuff that they buy because it's physical. You can see it. You see it all the time. It's kind of like unescapable, and you almost like flex in real life to other friends, and you play with other friends, and you go to, like, you're way more active in this sort of stuff, in the, like, capitalism, and I actually despise that. I don't appreciate that at all. To me, uh, real physical cards or card games, it's literally a fucking crypto, literally Bitcoin, literally fucking ass. It turned into some kind of gambling nonsense. It turned into a community that appreciates nothing essentially. Like, where do I go to play your fucking physical card game? I have to play with myself. Like, it is fucking stupid. Oh, another person stealing my idea now. No, I actually was inspired by this. Alright, but it seems like it's just like a domino effect just keeps uh adding more to the pile of people talking about this. What the fuck is going on? What happens? Because my interest was basically Elder Scrolls Legends. This shit was dope. It shows a polished version of a card game where, it's balanced. Most cards are playable and most cards are, like, super satisfying. Whenever you, like, figure out how they actually work, what are the benefits of playing a card like that's so cool to me. It's completely shut down and just absolutely unfair on their part to make it like that. Like, now it's stop killing games, stop of uh moments, right? Like, this illegal, dude. Fucking illegal in the eyes of gamers, right? Like, we don't want to see this shit. Shut down your servers, but let people play the fucking game. There's this perfectly fine solo arena. It's all good. Like, if you're giving free resources at this point, if you don't care, then it doesn't matter if we, you know, now just play solo and that's how we earn rewards. I mean, okay, sure, shut down your servers, whatever, but, like, why shut down the rest of the game? How difficult it is not to do that, you know? And it's just, again, it just feels like AAA mentality is not that far off from just turds. Alright, like, they don't actually know how to solve problems. I literally just walked away from TikTok saying the exact same thing some old man went through a career of jobs of like the company leaders don't actually care of implementing solutions sometimes, viciously ignoring them, and you have to actually pick up on that and unfortunately branch off and hope that you can make your own card game one day, because it's actually quite an insult, right? Like a lot of people work for these companies and it just gets tossed in the trash. Not only that, there's like a lot of microtransactions, a lot of investment goes into this shit. It gets tossed in the trash. So honestly, Elder Scrolls Legends is a huge insult. A lot of card games are now, if they're dying, they're huge insults basically to the communities that, you know, existed, just want some kind of legacy, and we don't get it. But that's the stop killing games type of situationship going on, where AAA companies literally never cared to solve that problem. And we're kind of knocking on their doors to try and convince them otherwise, right? For me personally, I'm no longer a consumer, I'm a creator. I don't care if card games die. That's actually very beneficial for me. Next year, 2026, I'm preparing a lot more projects to chew on, basically, not just Pokey anymore, or whatever that is. Well, I failed to summon Pokey for some reason. I guess it's dead now. Yeah, that sucks. Whoops. Oh wow. That's right. That's what would kill our card game. 125 mana monstrosity. I've already explained, but I will do it again. Alright? Right now we're printing cards that technically have multiple choices, but because the game doesn't care, it is not multiple choices. It's just one choice. You have to choose between these options, right? You have two choices. What's gonna happen in the metagame? Most of the choices are gonna be completely useless, but the ones that were never nerfed are gonna be dominant. And I noticed that summon a copy of this is just kind of like a common theme now of like, wow, you're really hidden the power level besides behind copy and paste machine. Wow, that's crazy. A printer. Surely that cannot get out of control, because now it's hidden. Now we don't know how powerful this is. It's just a 4-mana 6/6. You know? It's just a 4-mana 6/6, guys. And whatever you put on top of this is gonna just be copied the same exact way, be treated the same exact way, of like it is also 4-mana 6/6. Oh wow, that's very fucking cool. And it's like, no one questioned this. It's completely fine. It's not supposed to be a 4-mana 2/2. That would be crazy. And then, perfect module just happens to be perfect because it has lifesteal. Lifesteal is the most premium keyword in the fucking game. Divine Shield and Rush is also a very premium combo in the game. And so you have a fucking crazy module and another crazy module. They're not getting nerfed. They're the ultimate choice for everyone to play the same exact fucking thing. Because this one got nerfed. Alright? Very unfortunate. And now nobody wants to touch it anymore. Very toxic. And that's what's happening, basically. Like, you have all these options, but the game devs, they just don't care to balance any of this, right? Whatever happens, happens. We're just gonna print more cards and pretend that everything is fine, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just fix the game. The game is fundamentally broken. I don't care if you print more cards. That's not gonna do anything. You're also gonna dump these cards after rotation anyways. Having cards means absolutely nothing to the game, because we actually don't have cards. The collection never becomes, like, more convenient. I can't even hide these, like, golden cards, for example. I cannot hide a core cards, you know, or just cards that I generally don't fucking touch in the first place. I cannot, like, put a star on the card so I really like the card or I dislike the card. Like, what the fuck, right? There's no actual convenience when it comes to even just managing your collection, so what do you expect? Of course people are not gonna like it over time. they're just gonna be fatigued by all of this fucking hard work that they have to do, and it doesn't actually pay off, right? So of course they're gonna just go to the fucking click play games, and that's it. And it's not because TikTok of like, yeah, but TikTok, that's what it is. TikTok is also extremely convenient. You just click play, you scroll, and you have the experience. You don't have to make crazy choices. You don't have to go through recommended page or something. Which video do I click on? A lot of people just never fucking subscribe to anything, so they trickle down into going into TikTok is their best bet because they haven't subscribed. They don't know what to fucking click on anymore. They can't even hang out on YouTube anymore. And even if they subscribe to Zeddy because he's a popular little bitch. You know? They subscribe to Mr. Beast because he's just popular. You know, the people just literally don't know where to go and what to do. Especially if it's not convenient. Convenience wins every single time. That's what kills most of the fucking card games. And these AAA devs, they don't care. You know, they already have their jobs. They just want the money and want to fucking get the fuck out of here. They're just greedy bastards, you know? They're not actually fixing any problems. You can see it right here. Where's the fucking click new to build a new deck? Oh, it's all the way down here. Oh, no, it's all the way down here, I swear. I have seen it before. It's right here, it was just hidden. It was just very shy. You know, very cool button. Best button of all time, if you ask me. Holy shit, man. Hearthstone is a pile of fucking shit if you actually think about it. It actually looks like this. Alright? It just is greatest depiction right there. So the fact that it dies, that Hearthstone dies, is actually a celebration, but the fact that other card games die, you guys are fucking losers. I mean, like, the confusion is everywhere of like, but why did you die? I know why Hearthstone should die, but why is everyone else dying? You know, that is my take. It makes no sense what's happening. Everything is out of whack. No one can get a fucking proper understanding, even though it's quite simple. You know, you just keep solving problems that occur. TikTok solved a problem, but that doesn't mean the YouTube died. It didn't die for me. Some of us happen to establish, right? I really hope you watch this first before mine, of course. I'm also gonna watch these because something's up. Now it's trendy to talk about card games dying. Wow. Well, yeah, like Hearthstone is fundamentally very ugly. It's not fixing its own problems. It's just making them worse, and a lot of cards just completely untouchable, unplayable, completely useless garbage because power creep. That's right, power creep. Now, you can still find something somehow, somewhere. It's just gonna be the greatest rare moment in your life, including the fact that once meta solidifies, this is how meta stays for fucking forever. No one breaks the meta, no one changes it. It becomes stale, at least on these like front pages that offer you decks. It's just becomes the same thing. It gets even worse if Shaman, like, is good across all ranks, because that means that Shaman is easy to operate for anyone. Like, a beginner and an expert is gonna operate kind of on a similar level, and there's no real skill gap, because a skill gap shows up when some kind of cycle rogue shows up, which is hard to operate for beginners, but experts can squeeze the juice out of it. They can understand the mechanics better. When the same class is dominating across all ranks, I'm sorry, bro, the game is fundamentally dumb as fuck, okay? And unfortunately, we get to see that sometimes. And when we don't see it, then Zeddy, above all creatures of Hearthstone, Zeddy gets mad. Zeddy gets mad of like, why is Rogue dominating? You know? In top ranks, Rogue dominating. And instead of priority being nerf Shaman, is nerf Rogue instead, right? Don't nerf decks that are actually dominating across the ranks. Just nerf the decks that are high skill in top 1000 legend. We literally have a fucking influencer in the biggest card game making the biggest decisions that you can possibly fathom, and obviously his decisions are just out of whack, completely insane. You know, no sane person would actually do something like this. Be like torn between of like, oh, should we nerf cards or should we buff cards instead? Why you were torn between that shit? That's crazy. That's crazy. And for the moment of clarity that we got in recent times, we got proper 19 or 18 nerfs basically. The game, you know, got cleaned up before the expansion hits, and here you go. Or as the expansion was hitting, right? But still, we have like, oh, which option do I click on? Just prevent a person from playing the game option. You know, it's the most fun option. And it gets even crazier because when I showed you Ziliax, that's exactly the same thing that happens. Let's prevent my opponent from playing the game. Let's delete 2 of his biggest minions, restore all my HP, no matter how much progress my opponent has made. I went down to 6 HP, now I'm back at 24, right? It's the maximum of 30. Let's just delete all the progress that we have done across the game and just, like, continue playing the game as if nothing fucking happened. Up for 9 whole turns, nothing fucking progressed, basically. That's how the game works. Like, game actually actively prevents you from playing the game. Of course people are not gonna be fucking fucking happy playing Hearthstone because it's actively reducing the amount of decisions that you're making and rewarding babies for just copying and pasting a deck. You can't build your own deck. You cannot just have skill and build a deck and combine these things together to, like, reach legend in the most, like, satisfying way because you are a unique kind of player. You found your own tactics, basically. No, it's just copy-paste because the deck will prevent your opponents from playing because it's power-crept. And it's never going to be fixed. It's never going to change. You know, it's a safe space for everyone. They can safely craft these cards. They're gonna be nerfed anyways and refunded anyways. Like, they can safely just keep those cards, bro. So, this is the thing that inspired the detour into looking into Hearthstone collection. And unfortunately, this card is not fun. I mean, for fuck's sake, this is literally the description of what is Hearthstone. The ultimate Hearthstone experience is play a 0-mana card when it becomes a 0-mana card and destroy everything, you know? Just like, fuck it, everything. Just, you know? In other words, you played a 0-mana card that destroyed everything, you dropped a stat bomb of 10/10, and you're gonna add on to the stat bomb. You're gonna add more problems for your opponent to chew on after you deleted all their juicy things, basically. This is not fun. This is not a good game design, but they just do it all the time, as if, like, they don't have good ideas whatsoever. They are morons. Most of the people running card games, I can imagine, they don't understand what the fuck they're doing. Now, Ben Brode is on another level, unfortunately. He's actually a respectable figure, and I enjoyed my time in Marvel Snap. My problem with Marvel Snap is very different. I'm okay not having cards. What I'm not okay with is just how repetitive it feels like. You still, like, make the deck out of, like, 12 cards, and it's like, it's the same cards. It's the same best cards that I can find. I'm not gonna fucking experiment with Marvel Snap whatsoever. There's no real deck building going on. There's no... And at the same time, it's the same ladder problem as well. Even if I try to fucking experiment, I will be in the high ranks, just losing most of my games because I experimented with some new cards. Like, what the fuck is that? You know, like, leave me alone. I'm just playing a new deck. Just give me some weaker opponents or something. The ladder problem is across the board, and the worst ladder problem is motherfucking Bazaar. Bazaar is literally unplayable because of the ladder problem. You are playing across All ranks. There's no legend rank, there's no fucking bronze rank. All of that shit is cosmetics at this point, you know? Reyna was yapping about cosmetics, but apparently his ladder is cosmetics. So you're literally fighting a bunch of high-ranked legend players who have cracked the game, cracked the code. They always go for the same fucking weapon. You know, you only need one card to make your build viable in the first place, and some kind of enabler to that fucking card. So you're literally just chasing one card, and that one card kicks your ass. I see Bazaar as the most fucking insane, not card game, not autobat, just pure fucking vomit of a game. I don't even consider it a game. It's just the worst game of all time. Everyone's chasing card to beat your face with. I mean, for fuck's sake. And we thought it's gonna be like creative and stuff. Now, maybe Riparian can convince you otherwise, but I was not able to crack Bazaar whatsoever. Instead, I got really mad, and it has actually quite a few problems on top. But this one is crazy. Like, you literally queue into higher ranked opponents who just know more about the game, and you have to somehow beat them? Excuse me, dude? Like, can't we chill for a moment with just, you know, bronze players for a bit, and then we rank up against these crazy dudes? The moment you start losing, you can't stop losing. The moment your build is kind of like crappy, like people just gonna fucking break you in half. Slowly and break you in half, and there's no like satisfaction to it, unfortunately, guys. Besides that, it's convenient. You pressed play. Thank you, Jesus, for convenience. So, don't worry. There's a reason why I'm still sticking to Hearthstone. That no one snatched me yet into their community. It's also just fun making fun of Zeddy, you know, because no one else is gonna do that. That's literally exclusive content, my friends. Americans too fucking nice to like approach Zeddy in a conspiratorial way where like this guy has too much power. Like there's no fucking way anyone would dare to do that. But I see a whole different fucking story, you know, building up, where the greatest card game is basically dominated by a moron who doesn't also know how to solve any problems whatsoever. Just like beg for nerfs, pray for nerfs, build a fucking church, a nerf church. We can build a whole religion basically begging AAA, like Blizzard developers, you know, for nerfs. We can build a church. There's no fucking choice of like, oh, maybe buffs could help, maybe this could help, maybe more powerful cards could. Shut the fuck up. You know, we can literally just settle this fucking debate. The game has to be fixed by cutting the top, just basically pimple popping. Alright, this is the most satisfying thing of all time. You would pop the pimple, the shaman goes all the way down, and the rest gets to be played, you know? The rest of the stuff gets to be played. Obviously, we nuke like top 5 decks. Get the fuck out of here. We see what stands out, basically, what should be nerfed and all that shit. Because sometimes it can be hidden behind like effects of sure, discover. You can discover legendaries, but like some like dark gift, like it can be anything. One of these effects might be broken and we don't know which one. Like for example, I take this one all the time. Right? Just because it shuffles into your deck, is that a downside? Because you draw it the next turn anyways, you can't play it for that particular turn, but no one fucking cares. Right? So, there might be something broken in the game that's like hidden, even. You have to actually even develop your skill of nerfing cards. Nerf cards harder and better. Sometimes it will require reworks. One of the coolest fucking nerfs I've ever seen in the game. This bad boy right here, Thaddeus, was my favorite card. Because I knew it was powerful before anyone else knew. That's what made it so cool. They reworked it and all of a sudden, I was very excited to play it. To test its abilities. Right? Finally, they made a fun card. Just by reworking an old one. That's how you do it. You can actually improve nerfs to where it's just not just like number nudges, to where like you make the card unplayable because it's like going from 7 to 8 mana, right? It's not just the nudge or kicking out a card out of most of the decks. It's better to rework. It's better to make the card more fun. It's better to try something new. This can technically sometimes apply on like very unplayable cards. Try something new, or just, you know, add a little bit of buff. Like maybe it's worth giving this fun card a little buff, right? Fun cards, they do deserve to be played. So like, okay, let's reduce the cost like we always do. I don't know. Maybe you can find something even better to do. So that's my take. The reason why card games are dying is because people in the top, they just don't know how to make good decisions whatsoever. Card games have nothing to do with this. Just because TikTok showed up and kicked YouTube in the balls, that doesn't mean that the YouTube system is not good enough. It's just nobody fucking patched it properly. Nobody made it actually convenient enough, right? Convenience is always the big question, and you have to like adopt new technologies. Otherwise, you're gonna be eliminated. I mean, I feel like YouTube itself is threatened. I make like YouTube rewinds. YouTube made wrong decisions, basically. And I'm seeing all of this in real time, right? I'm concerned. I want to do something about it. What you can do is subscribe at least. I mean, hurry up. At least do that. Or write a comment of like, yes, I feel the same way about blah blah blah. Maybe you play different card games. Let's watch these videos and make some more conclusions.
Are card games?
No, they're not doomed. Alright? Everything can be saved. Everything can be reworked. Hearthstone's still alive, and it like one of the good aspects about Hearthstone is just bright colors. You know, just appeal, general appeal. You should follow that standard. You should make your card game look good. We go back to ES Legends, and like there's some neon lights that I like, but this brown background, like this, a little bit of a questionable design still. Maybe you can make it look better. No? Because somehow this just works. Not every card works. I mean, for me, this one fails. This one fails. Some of the design just looks kind of awful. But yeah, there's enough reason why Hearthstone is still on the top of the leaderboard. Only being basically beat by Pokemon Pocket. I don't care about that. Technically, Marvel Snap is keeping its pace. Yu-Gi-Oh is still relevant to like people who didn't hop on board on like proper card games, who never left Yu-Gi-Oh. Like at some point we have to make fun of them basically.
Do.
Like this gives that Pokemon appeal that we all want. Visual stuff kind of comes first almost. The rest is simplicity of the cards themselves. That there's not a lot of reading, that most of the stuff is translated into keywords. And the rest is you pick a class, you have some kind of flavor going on. Also adds to just like coherence. Because you relatively know what these classes are up to, what they're doing in the game. It's quite fascinating, right? Like Hearthstone has definitely this coherence upside. And well, established influencers, they know what they need to do to themselves stay relevant. They build decks, they play some wacky combos, or they just report news, right? The community is now fully established, and yes, we sometimes receive rot, basically. Pure fucking rot decisions. But even the monetization, I feel like it was figured out. And actually, I'm glad that pets exist. Because maybe that allows for devs to just fucking settle down and focus on quality stuff now, instead of just finding ways to like sell signature cards, all this fucking crap that gets in the way, basically. and actually taints our discussion for improving the game. You know, because now we're distracted of like, oh, what's this in the fucking just spawn. Now we're kind of accustomed. It's gonna be there. It's gonna try and take your fucking money, and most people not gonna flirt with that idea whatsoever, right? But we don't have to talk about it anymore, right? So there's potential for Hearthstone to turn things around. The acquisition happened, and technically Microsoft owns Blizzard or something, but nothing fucking exploded, you know? So maybe there's a chance. There's a chance that Hearthstone gonna live 5 more years. I'll definitely dethrone it by 5 years. I'm sorry, guys. I will have to. If not me, someone else that I'm collaborating with is gonna dethrone it. Like, Hearthstone is not that stable. The most unstable thing about card games is literally text. Maybe we can just not have text on cards anymore. Maybe that's the fun thing to do. And I feel like it is. I feel like people gonna dunk on Yu-Gi-Oh! So fucking much when they start seeing a card game successful that doesn't actually even use words, bro, on the effect part. Because I feel like that's a good principle to not have very complicated cards. Like, again, Hearthstone has kind of put themselves in a constraint of like 4 lines, no more lines on a fucking card. It's always going to be 4 lines, and whoever makes more lines, they're the stupid ones. They look ugly, basically. Like, immediately Hearthstone like flourished this slick design, and I truly believe that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is first generation card games, Hearthstone is the second generation card games, and it's settled, you know? It's settled. That position is taken. It's not even going to be taken by Marvel Snap, unfortunately. Even though it's close. I would love that to change somehow, but just, I don't feel it. First of all, Marvel Snap was intended to be a mobile card game, so it has like a lot of dead space. The design is like absolutely brilliant, right? Like, so what's missing is the real question. But it's just like you play the same fucking cards, dude. You literally play the same cards. Those are the fucking cards that just burn into my brain. I'm like, stop it. You're torturing me with this image. Send this image to every single Marvel snapper, and they they will snap. They will be upset. You know, they won't be nice guys anymore. Like, what the fuck is... I hate Iron Man. I hate that I have to play it in every fucking deck. It's crazy. Especially those who don't have money to spend. They're gonna be stuck with fucking vanilla cards, keeping them alive. Like, it's fucking mental, dude. How the card games always fall short of giving new content to players. So Marvel Snap, in this regard, like, absolutely insane that they fell into this trap. But it's all the, like, these pitfalls, you know, it's all these uncanny valleys that you can fall into, and if you don't even recognize that you have a problem, it's over. No one's gonna save you. I can try and save you by just, like, addressing the issue, but if you're not gonna fucking unclog your ears, if I'm not popular enough for you, then fuck yeah, I can't save you, dude. I understand what the problem is. But my voice, my solution, my awareness cannot reach your fucking ear holes. It's over. You know, I'll just have to do it myself. I'll have to try basically the same path into glory and try not to fall into a pitfall as I build my own card game, right? As I try to get to that 3rd generation, you know? Slot, that's a fucking big deal. So only thing Marvel Snap is struggling with is like killing its own game modes, for example, as well. That's just a very salty move. Like, why the fuck you introduce a cool game modes where, like, new decks can be played and all of a sudden it dies the next week? Like, what the fuck is that? So you keep seeing, again, in real time, there's unique things that are happening. I would like to report them. Again, subscribe. Maybe it's gonna come out of my mouth. Maybe I'm gonna be the fucking newscast of, like, hey, look at this thing happening. Maybe it's gonna be my new series of, like, wow, this card game did this thing and it didn't work. For now, I'm just grinding Hearthstone, but I mean, you can report me some, leads, and I piece a fucking video. I can't fucking do it alone. So it's not just subscription that helps, but it helps to, like, whisper into my ear that something happened in card games, or you notice something as well. That's, like, not fun. Just not fun. Something not fun happening. I've never had a lead before, but I love entertaining the idea that we can fully explore the card games as they are today, dying from something, from COVID.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
It's predicting getting harder.
You
and
must
harder.
understand, as a game developer, I understand the concept of, like, you can do anything. Do you know, as a game developer, you can do anything. You can allow any wacky fucking ideas to come to life, and people gonna actually appreciate them. That's it. As long as it's relatively balanced, as long as people don't just crack the game mode immediately and figure out what's the best thing to do, you can introduce so many things into the game to just, like, change things up. Twist is just a fucking tip of the iceberg, and they couldn't fucking keep it alive whatsoever. There's actually a dead game inside Hearthstone, believe it or not. Actually, not just one, but, like, a variety of dead games that have been completely wiped from the modes section, by the way. Like, Duels is the most notorious one. There's probably one more that I forgot about. And it blows my mind, guys. Even Hearthstone is dead game half of the time, right?
To avoid
Half of the
news such
time,
as this.
yes. I would even consider, like, Tavern Brawl a dead mode, because it's not getting updates, right? That's another thing that kills half of the mode. Like, if you're not getting live service on something, it's relatively dead for the multiplayer purpose, right? Or just as a consumer thing. Once you consume it, it's dead, right? One of the coolest things is, like, solo adventures, that also died in actuality, so you can click the button, you can access solo adventures, Rauren can make tons and tons of content on it, but actually it's dead. It's never getting new things whatsoever. And it fucking baffles me, because it's one of the coolest things about Hearthstone. All the fun is gone, my friends. All the fun things are evaporated and replaced with greed. And dumbass decisions, I'll tell you that much.
Video coming out from I'm making this
Friendships? You're lucky.
video now because there's a lot
Bro,
of
you're
concerning
lucky,
decisions
dude. The only thing I get is haters.
to point out if I want to preserve games.
I do get some nice comments, people recognizing that I speak the truth. They also suffer from Borklers. They also suffer from this and that, right? In Hearthstone. I mean, some people did recognize that even Bazaar has flaws, but they just mostly dunked on me. I did manage. Oh, well, okay. I did manage to flex my abilities of, like, well, I can make Bazaar in just, like, 2 months. It took me 5 months. No, it took me 2 months to make 50% of Bazaar, which is, or just actually a month to make 50% of Bazaar, but the rest is fatigue, unfortunately. So it's a skill issue. I can still make it in 2 months. Another not so skill issue is that I'm just generally in a bad spot in life. Like, I have real life, and my real life fucking sucks. I will quit Bazaar as many times as I have to. The funniest thing happened where I actually uploaded almost the same video twice, and I get completely different reception. I was able to squeeze some views out of Bazaar, as you can see. Alright, these are premium videos, the most popular ones. And obviously none of it is positive. None of it is just like Hearthstone deck type of thing. The fact that Hearthstone decks exist up here is a fucking miracle of life.
Konami
But no friends, no friends,
making
guys.
different types
No
of
friends.
variantly making.
I'm also not really actively looking for friends, because I'm a workaholic in a way. Like, I'm not actually seeking friendships because they feel shallow. The other person just can't keep up with my power level, basically. So what the fuck is the point at that
Game
in
much
this
more negative
case?
of all time.
So the funny thing is, For me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Started as a lot of friendships, an introduction to the game, like, wow. But then it transformed into a digital form, where Yu-Gi-Oh! Was kind of more appealing just digitally, where I'm just tinkering on my own terms, having fun on my own terms. Whenever I feel like I can just play the game. And that was just way better than just buying a bunch of cards and not feeling like you're making progress, you're just making a mess, basically. And so it's a very natural transition into Hearthstone, and hopefully Hearthstone makes the natural transition for me to be successful now.
I am the absolute consumer in almost
No, this is completely fine.
every way conceivable, which is
Unfortunately.
something that I'm going to get into in this video. What I think of the
If you can leech whales, you're gonna be fine. Because this is not a moral bankruptcy, it's not pay to win system introduced. That's it. The thing that Zeddy was so scared of when he saw a fucking one drop, the actual scary factor, it fucking missed its shot. It didn't infect Hearthstone, so I think we're safe. If people are actually buying pets, I mean, well, I can't stop that. They are funding the game. What can I do? But the game is not like predatory on all aspects, on all fronts. They can just focus on the thing that makes them money and leave most of the shit alone. For some reason, at one point, like, mini sets became 2,500 instead of 2,000 golds. And now it's back to 2,000? Like, what are they trying to creep into a bunch of stuff? Like, I feel like one mini set is more expensive than others. And it's fucking weird when I saw it. Of like, well, I'm back to Hearthstone, I don't recognize this. Okay, I don't get to see the price, but I do get to see the price of golden one. Yeah, one of these sets was 1,200. And is it because, like, extra legendary or something? I don't think so. It looked exactly the same as everything else. So I thought of like, wow, they're raising prices, that's fucking crazy. But it just happened for one set and one set only. It's just the weirdest thing. Maybe 2 sets? No, not at all. So that sort of like shady practices just kind of off the table now. I'll take it, alright? If they still like tinkering with the game and changing things up, that's gonna make me uneasy. If we settled for this bullshit, then fuck yeah, dude. I still laugh at the fact that the shop takes so fucking much time to load things. It used to be completely broken, but holy shit, it's still... For me, that's lag, dude. That's lag. So it's kind of optimization problem. You have all these nice pixels, but they cost you stuff. And it's surprising to me, they use Unity. I don't know, I haven't actually encountered other card games to suffer from this, so that's so weird, man.
are completely
Oh no, it's Protoss!
based around stopping the combo-based
Protoss got
defines the
banned
view as
in
a card game
Yu-Gi-Oh!
itself. Get around Mr.
Oh yeah, so big aspect of Hearthstone is that most of the game is dead. So we see like lots of game modes are dead, basically all of them. Except Battlegrounds, which I don't even touch because that's not really a part of core Hearthstone. But most importantly, half of the cards are dead. Okay, it's not supposed to be like this. Cards are supposed to be flavorful. Fun cards are not supposed to rotate out of the game. In fact, at this point, we had so many rotations that more game is dead than alive. By all means. And for no good reason. It's just because it picked up a trendy move from Magic the Gathering to do the same thing, rotate fucking collection. It's just like so ugly. Such a dumb decision. But then at the same time, Marvel Snap does not rotate collection, and it actually has a stale mode. Stale set of cards. Now we're looking at like stale cards or whatever.
Mind is even though
No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dead. Barry's entry is insane for
game
Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't want them to fix it anymore. It's a Generation 1 game, and it stays that way, and I've seen the best version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Personally, I've experienced it. I didn't play anything but this, and I was satisfied. Alright? I was satisfied. This is peak Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't need anything else. There's plenty of stuff to do in this championship release. And maybe championships around it, like 2012 or 2010, are also playable. I don't know, but this one fucking just works as a solid end to Yu-Gi-Oh! For me.
The $400 cards.
Because the funny thing is, it does require barrier to entry to like slow the person down. To like you slowly get the cards, you add the cards to your collection. You're kind of playing the same deck against different opponents, though. So you're not obligated to change your deck. You're not obligated to read every single fucking card. You're just kind of learning based on what your opponent is doing. And that's the best way. Like, you play the game and you learn as you go. You don't have to copy and paste anything. You don't have to read the cards to build your own deck. Just kind of chilling. For me, this is pure fucking noise. I don't care about new Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I literally don't care about any of this stuff.
Impossible to be doing in
Especially, like, what do you play? Which Yu-Gi-Oh! Game do you play? Do you play PvP? Is that a thing? Because for me, it was eventually never PvP. Yes, I play against my friends, but eventually it just died off into digital space. And I'm glad it did, you know?
the metagame. Almost anything because of the way
Yeah, I still don't understand why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so popular. I buried it personally, alright? I declared the death of Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself to myself. And it better be as real as it gets, because I don't want any of this
Yu-Gi-Oh!
shit.
Master is only being used to siphon money out of the players rather than being a good way to onboard new players into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a baffling decision by Konami and absolutely helps to shorten the game's lifespan by not introducing
Yeah, let's not try get new players into Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore.
new players into
Let's
the game.
not do that.
In my mind, these
You might ask me what the problem with Magic the Gathering is, and I don't know. I don't care about this one.
sets were because of Final Fantasy or
If Kibler is playing this, then there's no problem. It's just inferior to Hearthstone
the
potentially,
rings
you
have
know?
been really good, and this has to be the
Wait, I have to watch the Kibler complaining about Magic the Gathering then. I mean, I tried watching this, but I guess I didn't understand. I'll try again.
play.
Alright, so Bro introduces different game modes, says standard is like very important, and that's something supposed to get banned because there's only like 2 dominant cards in the game. Makes me think that there has to be a consistent strategy that gets upgraded or downgraded, but it has to be consistent. Like, if we're nerfing 20 cards every single month, it has to be embedded, basically, as a principle. We must be able to expect that that's just the standard that we're gonna fucking chase after, and we can, like, buff, like, 2 cards or something. You know, nerf 18 cards, buff 2 cards, whatever, right? Especially when it's, like, prominent, like, quests, maybe. But just buff is not a cool thing to do. I would rather just, like, you know, redesign the quest entirely. This just didn't have enough support. Or redesign a card to make it work for the quest. Maybe it's very close, but it doesn't quite work for the quest. You can just redesign it, right? Anything can shuffle anything. You know, you discover from another class, get a copy of it, and shuffle a copy into your deck. Like, that's all you need. But they didn't fucking do it, but they still have an opportunity to, you know, add an additional synergy. Doesn't cost much at all. But I do think, like, we have to build an expectation that things gonna get changed for the better, right? That this is a principle. Every month we get the nerfs. Technically, balance changes do happen regularly, and Zeddy can predict that already, but it's always a nail-biting experience if anything's gonna change or be changed or not, which is fucking mental. When it doesn't get changed. When all these prominent cards just stay in the game, like this wipe that shit off. If people playing one card too many times, like, that's not supposed to, that's a problem. That's just a problem. Meta is a problem. Nobody solved it, okay? And Bazaar does promise you, like, every single 2 weeks, you get the nerfs. That's fucking good. You know, that's a standard right there. That's a good example of something you can follow, even though Bazaar sucks. It doesn't matter how many times you nerf cards. It's not the balance that's the issue, actually. They fundamentally still don't kill the meta. They do not kill the meta. The underlying meta of play card win game, which is the worst meta of all time. Play that specific card win game. It's happening in Hearthstone, it's happening in Bazaar. I mean, it's fucking crazy.
I'll talk about Beanstalk. It's itself a thing, but
apparently it's happening here, it's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's happening in fucking Marvel Snap. Play card win game, guys. Play that fucking Iron Man, dude. Play that Iron Man, play that Spider-Man.
Strike.
Play that monstrous man, you know?
Do a short game like the red deck. There's nothing better to do than Beanstalk. Beanstalk is the best thing to do. If you look at like the replay, your opponent just plays Beanstalk on 2 and you're just like, you know, again, right? It's a card that warps games and metagames. That it is cutting out a huge swath of potentially interesting decks that are trying to play a bit of a longer game.
What he's trying to say, it kills the game. All the time, every fucking game, when something gets warpy. It doesn't even have to be a card, it can be a card mechanic in Hearthstone. It's the board clear that warps the game, and not the fucking cheesy ones like this. No one plays this shit. People play literally obliterate the board cards. If it doesn't do that, it's not good enough. Alright, this guy, not good enough. Not Zilliax type of power level, in my opinion. People barely play this shit. You know, even though it has a fucking wipe for 5. Crazy stuff. Those good old Flame Strike days are long gone. The only card you play is Blizzard. Blizzard is always the best thing, you know? Because it's all about preventing the game from going. This is the best thing ever, right? It just prevents the game from resolving in any way. In any meaningful way. Toxic game mechanics just warping the meta. And no one does anything about it.
Limited format. This is the will be, and the next thing I will have to
You're
place
not
on the
ready.
ban list, and I will have to make a decision whether or not I want to buy it or not. And finally, worst of all, we have Hearthstone.
Worst of all, we have Hearthstone. That's right. Worst of all, are you sure about that?
Now, Hearthstone, the United
Oh, he's gonna explain me the Stormwind because I didn't
remain
understand.
being some of the most powerful cards in the game. Dawngrass and Blateborn Tamsin would easily kill your opponent consistently on turn 5 or 6.
Okay, I guess you explained it already.
Time or money that they need to invest
spicy.
into the game. And after all of these disasters, Hearthstone really feels like it's reached the bottom of the well in terms of ways they can actually fund the game. The amount of things that Hearthstone has put in to spend your money has been going up astronomically since the early years of Hearthstone.
Until
It starts out with
pets.
Diamond Hero Portraits, which are
Until
animated and really
pets.
cool, but cost a large amount more than the regular hero portraits in the shop. Not only that, but they're also removing free features that have been present in Hearthstone since the very early years. Those free boards that you would get brand new with each and every expansion have been completely removed, now being something that you have to pay for if you want to see. And whilst charging extra for something that could have been implemented in the game for the same price as something else is pretty bad, and removing free features that are already present in the game and have been there for the longest time and putting them behind a paywall is worse, none of these are worse, in my opinion, than the most dishonorable gacha game element that they have placed into the game. The new pets that they have introduced are
Nah, it's fine. I thought he's gonna list like 10 things,
genuinely
but
really
whatever.
cool.
We're just yapping about card games and has more subscribers than me. It's the new meta game on the fucking YouTube as well. It pisses me off of like, oh, build essays, dude. When is it gonna be metagame that I'm good at, you know?
There's the Great Filter Hypothesis, which suggests that perhaps there's a natural barrier that prevents life from becoming interstellar. Perhaps intelligent life inevitably destroys itself with nuclear weapons or collapses under the weight of its own resource consumption. Card games have been dying off one by one in recent years, and despite the initial mega success, Hearthstone, and the hype surrounding Gwent and Runeterra, no new card game has managed to reach escape velocity and cement its place as a mainstay in the genre. And the question is why? I think the Great Filter Hypothesis may lead us to the answer.
What? The stupidest intro I've ever seen.
Fed and Rat Games.
I love the idea, like, you can actually determine how dead a card game is. A percentile. Tell me if you want to know how dead certain card games are.
throwing their hats into the ring. And countless smaller indie
How
titles
dead
that
is
bring varied
Hearthstone?
card game titles, both
Because it's never going to be 100% necessarily. Like there's always some content attached to every game.
big budget and small. The lifespan
You
of card
know?
games has driven game formats rather than the digital alternative Magic the Gathering arena. Of course, other big players such as Gwent and Snap have all but died off at this point. Contrast
Shut the you're just stupid, bro. You're
This
just
the mainstream
fucking
genre-
crazy. If you look just at the graphs, I'm sorry.
have all but died off.
Look at my photograph. I hate Nickelback, okay? And I hate you looking at graphs. Oh my god, my card game is dying. That's a healthy decline. But it requires rejuvenation, right? So rejuvenation cycles where something fucking huge happens, basically. People get hyped up about something and bam, slam, you drop big ass content that everyone has to talk about, right? Marvel Snap doesn't know how to fucking snap. You think Marvel Snap would know how to snap? They pull it back and bam, slam, something fucking cool happens in a card game. And Hearthstone so far did the best job by introducing a new class. And it was the worst thing ever. And they did it twice and it was even worse the second time. Oh my god.
Contrast this to mainstream, and you realize that the downtrend experienced by card games is somewhat
Oh, bro fucking punched back and said, oh look, this graph does not go down. Fuck. No, there's a lot of competition. It's quite easy to make a card game. A lot of people just kind of just explorers in terms of card games. And these games are fucking toxic as hell. Get the fuck them out of my screen, please.
them.
I don't know. I don't have a rebuttal for this one. I just don't know what I'm looking at. Surely there's something that will make me happy, you
auto
know?
battles, arguably the least for the most popular ones like TFT or Battle.
What the fuck is going on?
This distinction suggests that digital card games made ourselves in. So
Now I'm pissed.
what went wrong?
I'm
Well,
just
part of
pi-
the
you
biggest
just made
economics
me
of digital card
pissed,
games.
bro. I
These
lost
games
the
are surprisingly
argument.
expensive from massive card
I
drops.
feel there's this quiet quitting, guys. There's millennial quiet quitting. People don't want to work. People don't want to read cards anymore. I feel like new expansions just make things worse. Kick people out instead of making them excited to play more. But well, the bro just actually created a mystery for me. I was like, but why these graphs not going down? Jesus Christ, man. That's an anomaly. Every graph goes down. Simply because you stop searching in the fucking search bar because you don't have less things to search for. I don't understand. I just don't understand, guys. Is this YouTube, by the way? YouTube, last 5 years, so on. By the way, I literally have this. I mean, Hearthstone looks fine. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of my face. He's probably just lying. It's not even comparable. The player base is a whole next level. It's like comparing Minecraft to Hearthstone. Get the fuck out of here. Meaning that the starting point is somewhere far, far away. Oh no, it's dying! I don't think it's comparable. I think it's capitalism. Things that are just way bigger than other things, they have a whole different dimension of leeching for new players or something. It's just they have a whole different level of marketing and budget, and nothing is really dying, and they establish themselves on a solid genre as well. Card games is still a nerdy thing. It's still something just people quietly just walk away. But like these graphs don't look different. What are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here. Debunked.
Downtrend experienced by card games
fuck
is
off.
somewhat unique in the current world we find
Again, it depends on also not just capitalism, competition, right? It's a big part of capitalism. There's fucking lots more competition versus card games or down there than there is up here. Fucking obvious. So this dwindled down, but it's not going down. It's not falling apart slowly due to competition, showing like what it could have been. Because Hearthstone is being siphoned by competition quite a lot. Like, you can see it all the time.
So
You can compete with itself, too, you know, Battlegrounds versus Hearthstone. I mean, it competes with itself. Although the word Hearthstone, I think, is universal to both games, I guess? I don't know.
So what went wrong? Well, a large part of it is the economics of digital card games. These games are surprisingly expensive to run. Servers
Surprisingly expensive. What? How? How do we get here, dude? Surprisingly expensive. Surprisingly, if you're stupid, I don't know.
updates,
Fucking
expansions,
crazy
licensing,
to me.
all the regular
It's so
development costs of high-quality
crazy.
games, but with the added games, which the
I don't
upfront
expect frequent expansions. I expect quality fucking product, you know? Not just like feed me. My mouth is always open. In fact, it would be potentially more relaxing if there's not that many updates, but just balance changes in general. They don't have to work their asses off. But whatever, we'll just fix everything. We'll do our own
and then
project,
further
whatever.
with the free-to-play
I'll
model,
show you
the
how
games
it's
revenue
done.
Coming from and showcase that providing player access to most of the game for free would make them unable to turn a profit, even when subsidized by
Womp womp, no profits. Game died. Oops. Those kind of devs, they just never fucking made another like big release to re-inspire interest into the game. They just like quietly added expansions and pretended that's enough to attract new players. Like, the fucking garbage, dude. All you need is new players. They will buy your shit. The funny thing is, even like a donate button, basically, we're running out of money. People will give you money out of pity, dude. For fuck's sake. No one even tries that. No one even begs for money. I fucking hate this, man. Because in the end, they're all just losers. They lost this game of like trying to make a card game in a very fair fight. They ended up being
by the
losers.
behemoth companies behind it paying regularly. The only way to truly experience the content
Now, Snap is also a dwindling thing because it doesn't feel new. It feels old. So yeah, you see this and it's like, oh my god, that's crazy. But that's because it feels like you're playing the same game for way too long. You don't want to do that. That's why you quietly just kind of walk away. But if something new happens to Snap, is gonna get the fucking spike in there. People gonna resurge their interest. It's just that simple. The biggest killer is like just not interesting content, or content that is new does not replace the old content. It's the ultimate problem, right? There's no interest to play the game. There's no reason to do
with
it.
cosmetic out of the squeeze. Shadowverse had to re-release in order to gain some momentum. And
See? Bro is vibing
attempts at
on
implement a
this
more
one.
lucrative financial model with shorter attention spans, instant gratification, and reduced decision making. Social media engagement
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. TikTok short attention spans.
non-stop, providing immediate
It's competition, dude. TikTok is solid competition, establishing even higher level of convenience required for you to compete. If you're not convenient, people just gonna ignore you. I'm sorry, no one wants to click on my videos because they're 1 hour long, and this one is overclocked, man.
stimulation. AI exists to actively joke on our
Overclocked.
behalf, even start playing.
Yeah, bro, just, again, ruffled the same feathers of, like, you don't say the word convenience, you don't understand
And a
the
tactical
plot.
process where you
bro.
make decisions on the fly, and variety of card games best. That the number of players who are actually interested in deck building, designing, and
I am not interested in whatever the fuck is going on here, but potentially League of Legends players are interested. I don't know. Maybe they finally get competition. I want a 2D experience. This is too much of a visual fucking vomit to my eyes. I personally
implementing strategy,
don't
slower
want to
pace of
touch
gameplay
this.
is all decreasing. Many
I don't want to touch anything that looks like this.
players are likely favoring more by the fact that even Reynad, famous Hearthstone
Yeah,
player,
bro just stole the script at this point, just added a few points of his own. Wait. The other guy? Which guy is which, man? Wait, now I'm concerned.
his new game, The Bazaar, ended up being changed from a card to digital card games. Viewed in this light, perhaps the death of digital card games was always inevitable in our world of growing convenience, fast pace.
This is like fucking idiots talking about, oh, Minecraft is dead, and then Minecraft Resurgence happens right after. Maybe let's not pretend that it's doom and gloom just because numbers went down. Like, shut the fuck up. It's not that crazy. Card games are no longer playable media. Yes. The funny thing is, instead of playing Hearthstone, now I'm on my tablet resting, basically. I engage with what I call stand-up PC, meaning that there's limited amount of time that my legs can sustain my passions of programming and talking to you guys. All the stuff is sponsored by my legs. That's right. And when I go to bed, I don't actually play card games. I do some bullshit basically, or play mini games. And unfortunately, I bought consoles, but old games just are not convenient whatsoever, and you can't make them convenient anymore. Old games where you press buttons, those retro handhelds basically that technically are pirated games. Not only the games feel old, but half of them just completely different language. It just doesn't work, man. It's crazy. It works for my mom, because she has a hard time using a touchscreen, but even then, I probably should just teach her how to use the damn thing instead of doing this. Just phones kind of killed it, and this is a big deal. Like, convenience actually kills things, and that's a good thing. We have just more advanced tools as humanity progresses. Beautiful, right? So, that's usually where death comes from. Alright, competition and just better tools. See you guys next time. You have been educated. Better than anyone else could do that. Consider that. Consider that important. Bye.